Hello, 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 everyone. You are now live with Dave Jose. I am going to try to get this video shared, invite some people. Please let me know if you get on. I want you to share this with everybody. Okay, we got people starting to come in. Let me know if you guys can see this. I want you guys to share this on Telegram. I haven't used this app in a little bit to get videos going. What's up, Big Phil McGill? What's up, Citizen Science? What's up, Joseph? Everybody, please share this in the Telegram groups, please. New York, New York. What's up, Joe Power? So everybody, I wanted to talk to you guys about the whole thing in the audit process. I've had a couple of haters talking silly about what's going on, and I wanted to come on and I wanted to talk about the real battle to get audits. What's up, Pablo? What's up, Maria? What's up, Terry? What's up, Lori? What's up, Pamela? And it's funny to me, guys, because you guys know that I'm not political at all. Hey, Rosemary, dear Queen, can you please share this on all the Telegram groups for me so everybody can know that I'm on here so I can get the word out to everyone? I know you do that usually, but if you could, it'd be very great. And guys, I want to give Rosemary and the ladies of Affidavit Mamas some praise today because they did an event over the weekend. I believe they have another event today. And they got, I believe, approximately 50 more affidavits for decertification or notices, one of the two, over the weekend, which also address grand juries. I want to let you guys know that we've been able to do a lot of good work as a people. Sup, Steve? But we definitely couldn't do a ton of the stuff we do without the Affidavit Mamas. They are people who were already searching for the law. We all got in touch at an event, and they opened up some massive doors. Guys, hold on. Let me see. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Josh just called me because we just got a call from a senator's or representative's office in a Midwest state that's asking for constitutional resources and questions about the statutes. That just came in. I got to call Josh back real quick, guys. I don't want to be disrespectful to you guys. I love you guys. I just want to make sure that I don't leave Josh hanging if it's a must that we get on the phone with him right now. Or I'll probably ask him to set it up for an hour. Thank you, Heavy Arms. But guys, this is exactly some of the stuff that we were going to talk about. Hey, Josh. Hey, I'm doing a live. I just opened up a live. Do we need to talk about what you just sent me right now, or what's the deal? All right. Do you want me to give you a link or something? Or are you driving? Okay, cool. All right. Peace. Bye. Yeah, y'all. So, as I said, we couldn't do the things that we do without the Affidavit Mamas. The Affidavit Mamas have taken what it is that we teach. And the beautiful thing about the Affidavit Mamas is they took what we taught, right? But the Affidavit Mamas all have talents, right? And they are comfortable in their talents. They grow. They learn how to do more things. They take what it is that we teach, mix it into what they do, and put it out there. And they've had immediate success. I mean, they've had more collective success faster than what it was with me. And the thing is with me, I started and I didn't have a lot of people to follow. I didn't have anybody in Arizona who knew the law that well. So I had to battle myself. I had to seek out other people in other states. People were telling me to, say I'm an executor and the trustee. Making the government the trustee, all these different ideas, you have to claim this and this and this. And I was trying my hardest to learn what they were saying in the midst of the time I was fighting for my little guys. And I did not have a strong foundation because I didn't have a lot of strong people. Later on, David Straight got involved. Well, it may be good they took down their templates, because the affidavit mamas, and let me say this so y'all can understand this, because this is going to be important. What's up, John? The affidavit mamas are all about knowledge and understanding. They don't just put stuff out there without learning what it means. And if you go to them and you say, look, we just want to sign your documents and we don't want to hear anything about what it means or what you're trying to do, they might look at you funny, because they understand that you have to learn what you're doing. You don't just throw stuff and hope it sticks. Like, this is what's happening, guys, with a lot of people in the movement of law today. They're just throwing stuff and hoping that it sticks. And, I look at people like Professor Clements, right? And he keeps jumping on the bandwagon of everything that happens. So he waits until the audit is finished. He said he had secret access into the audit. He waits until it's all finished. Then he goes and he attacks Karen Fann and say, well, Karen Fann, she didn't do what she should have done because she had an open court case and she had the court already say that she can get the spunk logs and stuff or whatever, and the subpoenas were valid, but she did not do it. Now, it's funny because he's an attorney. He's going around taking pictures with Trump, taking pictures with Leon Wood, taking pictures with every new person he can. So why is it that he waits until after the audit is over to talk about what Fann did, rather than calling her, teaching her what to do with the court and giving her some remedy, because he's a lawyer and been prosecuting people for years? Why didn't he help her along the way like Josh and I did? Why didn't he try to teach her what she could do along the way? He waited until it was all over. Then he stepped in afterward. Now, to just talk about her. And to me, guys, I think that is really soft and weak. See, when Josh Barnett and I started dealing with the legislature, Josh Barnett served them at their freaking house. Okay? So we went from Josh serving them at their house to us having meetings and talking with them. Now, you imagine you serve somebody at their house with affidavits of maladministration and treason. And then you guys start working together. Now, guys, I don't care what people say. Let me help you guys understand something. One thing about doing stuff with the law is you have to know patience. You have to know diligence. You have to know how to overcome rejection. When you first, Fabio Driven, why don't you come live with me? I was really hoping you would come on. See, guys, yesterday, Mr. Fabio Driven made a comment about how I must have took money from fans. So I asked him to put his house up and bet me that I'll let a trustee check all my accounts and see if I ever took money from anybody in government at any time. And I'll put up $100,000 that Fabio, he could put up his house. I'll put up $100,000 since he made the claim that I took money from somebody, and we'll see what happened. And we're going to talk about some things too, because there's a lot of emotional men who don't have the ability to really understand law. And I'm going to discuss the law today. And I'm hoping that Fabio Driven will come on and talk with me, but I think he's going to be afraid. But I'll tell you guys, I met Fabio Driven through a woman named Arizona who owned the first audit chat groups before Salty Lulu stole them from her. And Arizona let me know that she knew about Clements. She knew about EOJ. She knew about all of these guys who took part in trying to block the audits and stop the stuff. And what's funny to me is she has information still right now today that she has not come out with. Now, every bit of information that I have, when I found out about Clements, when I found out about EOJ, I went right away, even though my life could be in danger. I came out right away and started talking. Where the woman Arizona still has information. She's a partner to Fabio Driven. still has information that she has not released yet, some information that was there for years. Oh, don't say games. Come on, bro. Come on live and come get some of this smoke, Fabio Driven. I'm a real man, bro. I don't play the emotional Nick Masseter type games. I call stuff as it is, and I'm a boss, and I'll explain stuff by the law right here in front of you, and you won't be able to challenge me. And I don't give a freak about an image, bro. I'm a freaking boss. I come at stuff 100 miles per hour. I don't play. So I want you to come on live. I'll send you a link right now, bro, and come get some of this smoke, and you could talk about how great you are and what you do. Oh, we're going to talk about audits. And Gene, I will speak about what I speak about whenever I feel like speaking about it. That's the one thing, ma'am, you got to understand. If you're a man, you could be a guy. I'm sorry if I, whatever. But what you got to understand is that all of the issues that are going on have to be dealt with. So we got trolls in the movement who act like they're trying to do something for an audit. And right here, Mr. Fabio Driven, can you please list the things you have done to get an audit ever? Post it, right? Because like I said, I'm a real man, Fabio, and I'm going to call you on your stuff. So you can say that you think that I'm a deep state actor. I said that I'll let a trustee check every single account I got, and we'll see if any of these people have ever given me money. What you don't understand, Fabio, is me and Josh taught Karen Fan. We taught her to use maladministration from day one and taught her not to say the word fraud. And the reason that we don't say the word fraud is because fraud has to be proven in a court, and every attorney in the nation will tell you the courts don't work. So Fabio, you tell me a better idea. Okay, you say Fan sold us out. That's because, Fabio, you don't understand how to take care of the law. And I'll explain it publicly in front of everybody right now, and you'll look like a clown, and it goes along with what we do with audits. Let me help y'all understand. So guys, when you're getting audits done, right, there's two ways you really can get an audit done. You can go to a court knowing that somebody committed fraud and you saw them do it, and you have to tell who did it. Fabio, come on and ask me. You have to prove, guys, in a court, it's about proving wrong, right? Proving fraud, proving intent. So if you want to prove that somebody committed fraud, you have to prove they did it on purpose, sir. And if you have to prove they did it on purpose, that's a big amount of weight on your end that you have to show exactly who did the fraud. Fabio, you can't tell me one person who cheated in the election and actually did the work with their hands. Tell me if you can. Watch this, y'all. Fabio, name the people who actually made the machines cheat. I say the same thing for Mike Lindell. I say the same thing for every other person who talks about all the fraud. They can't tell who did it. You can't go to court without telling who did wrong. That's why y'all end up in trouble, and you're scared and you're running around soft. Of course, I'm going to say what I want, Fabio. I just told you I'm a real man and a boss, and you're not on my level. And you're not going to come at me because you're too weak. You'll sit there and complain like a girl, but you're not going to come at me. Period. You know not to. You know better. You know that you're not strong enough to come into this fight. So you want to complain and cry like a little baby, but you don't want to come bring that smoke. And I'm explaining it by the law, and you keep throwing up comments about your emotion. She betrayed us. She did this. Listen, I don't give a freak what anybody do when I lock everybody in. No, she's not my buddy. She's my servant. This is what you don't understand. When I have businesses, Fabio, the people in the business serve me. They help me make money, Fabio. So what you got to understand is that when somebody is my servant, I instruct them, and sometimes they make stupid mistakes. They get fired, or I continue to instruct them to help build them if I see they're taking action. Here's the difference between Karen Fan and you, Fabio, and your friends. Karen Fan told me and Josh, oh, they told me they want to kill me. They sent powder to my house. And she kept pushing for the audit. They threatened to kill her. They threatened to throw her in prison. She kept going. Fabio, your friend told us, me and Josh, that she has information on all these people, but she's scared for her kids. Fabio, my kids are in somebody else's house right now, and they could get killed on any day, Fabio, for the stuff I'm doing. Did I quit? Did I sell out? Did I say I'll kiss the butt of the deep state and all this CPS garbage in order to appease them rather than fighting for everybody? No. So Fabio, while you can talk about how somebody is my friend or criminal friends, Fabio, first of all, I want you to prove what crime Karen Fan committed by the law. Show me the exact law. And watch this, y'all. He's not going to be able to do it. See, what happens is he's afraid to deal with real life. He's afraid to come on live. He don't know the law. He came to me to know the law. He don't know the law. So, guys, let me help you understand. Joe Altman, who is Clement's friend, came out and told how a court is dogging him right now, and he wants 5,000 people to show up as of today. But what you got to understand is he wanted 5,000 people to show up. Do y'all not realize that I've sat back and gathered more than 5,000 people to fight across the nation right now? What he's figuring out right now he needs, I knew we needed 2 years ago. We sent 2,000 affidavits against CPS to Trump's trafficking council. And they came out on Epic Times and showed that they knew that CPS was trafficking. This is what you do. You get the people to see the truth because it's the people's job to correct error. Guys, if you want to prove fraud against one person, you have to go to court and tell what they did wrong. And the jury needs to say, yeah, we can see that this dude did wrong. So why the freak, if I want to get an audit, which is a political issue, do I ever claim fraud when I don't know which person pushed the button? I don't know if a person pushed the button on purpose or if they were told, hey, you got to do it this way or that way, and just trick them to make a mistake. Right? So the thing is, guys, you got to realize that what happens is when you going through a situation where you're trying to push things to happen, you go at the government officials by instructing them, like the Constitution says, Article 2, Section 1 of Arizona, frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is essential for the perpetuity of free government. If you want free government to keep going, you have to instruct them. Watch this. Fabio can't show 10 times that he instructed the legislature to do anything. 10 times. Look how funny this is. Fabio Driven is saying, did she have the authority? Watch this. Did she have the authority with Warren Peterson to issue a warrant for the withheld subpoena items? Now watch how silly this is, y'all. Fabio Driven and his whole crew only know about the ability to get a warrant because he learned it from me and Josh. Is that true or not, Fabio Driven? Come on, Fabio. Are we not the ones who taught you about the Mason's Manual? Fabio Driven? Let's be real. Watch this, y'all. See, this is how you deal with people, y'all. You deal with real facts and not emotionalism. See, he's not built for this fight. He's an order follower, right? I'm a freaking leader of government officials. I tell them what to do. I don't ask, right? So this is what Fabio don't understand. When you are setting up a situation for people to start telling the truth, you go everybody at once, right? They'll start weeding each other out and showing you who's real and who's fake. So what you'll see is Josh sent a notice to Chukri. Josh sent a notice to the legislature. They all started fighting each other. And then the ones who were good rose to the top and said, yeah, we want to do what y'all say. The deep staters fall down and try to cover everything. That's how you know who's who. The good guys are going to stand to the occasion. The weak guys are going to give up and say, I'm not talking about that, right? Hey, Fabio, I talk about whatever I want to because I'm real. Now, you, on the other hand, you talked about me and you brought my name up. You said, Dave, come out and talk about this or that, or you brought my name up. Your criminal activities with Fan, you brought my name up. Now you don't want me to talk about it. So why don't you come, Fabio? See, and you don't want me to talk about everything I've done because you know everything I've done shows my track record. The Bible says you shall know them by their fruit. My fruit is 1,000,000 times better than yours and everybody you know. So you don't want me to talk about it, Fabio, because it would prove that you're a freaking clown. And at the same time, my actions show that God has led me to do what I did. And that's why you don't want me to talk about it. You say, oh, you're obfuscating. You start using big words, but you have nothing to show that you're on any level at taking action that me or Josh or anybody else in our circle is, not even Karen Fan. Of course, I don't like everything that Karen Fan does, but I understand that teaching government is a process, sir. You teach them what the law says, and then you got attorneys who they have been trained, just like you, Fabio, to believe that they know the law. Now, Fabio, you can't show me a history of you doing things without lawyers in your history, can you? Karen Fan ain't throwing everybody under the bus because she don't have the power to. Here's another thing that you have to understand, Fabio. Fabio, what happens is when you deal with government and you believe government has all power, they can throw you under the bus. When you know that you have all power and you tell them what to do, nobody can throw me under the bus, my friend. This is why 90-something kids came back home. This is why our businesses are opened in the private. This is why we're having fun. The affidavit mama's knocking down all types of mandates and all this stuff. Minnesota knocked down mandates. Colorado nailed their government officials. We even got entities open in foreign countries. The reason it happens because I know we're the freaking boss, Fabio. You're worried and concerned like Nick Masseter because you think these people have power over you. That's the real truth. We're down Poops Creek now. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. Oh my gosh, they threw us under the bus. Mother freaker, I own the ship. I own the bus. Nobody throws me up under the bus. I get to freak out the bus when I want to. I get back on the bus when I freaking want to. I freaking lead the bus. Fabio, me and Josh led Karen to do the audit. We led her. We told her not to say the word fraud because you have to prove it in a court. We know the courts don't work, just like Joe Altman, the constitutional lawyer, and Professor Clements, the lawyer, will tell you that the courts don't work. Fabio, you want to do stuff that take things to court. You say, well, they got to use a warrant. So what happens, Fabio, what happens if a warrant is issued? They send the police to go pick, the sheriff to go pick the stuff up. And then at the same time, the sheriff is a deep state Soros plant that literally got money from Soros for his campaign. Penzone got money from Soros. He's a Soros elected freaking shield as a sheriff. So when you understand that and you understand the courts who are attorneys, who the attorneys sent 70-something Perkins Coie's people to try to stop the audit, how many times, Fabio, do you keep going into courts before you realize that you need to use your authority outside of them? Help me out here, sir. Because this is how smart you are. You think, well, she should go get a warrant. Don't you understand when there's a warrant issue that you can challenge the warrant? Don't you understand there's habeas corpus issues, sir? Or do you not know that? You don't know what habeas corpus is, do you? You understand that you can use habeas corpus when somebody issues a warrant against you and pull yourself right back out of jail? You don't understand that? Bet you don't, do you? You don't know, Fabio. Fabio, why you slow down your talking? See, this has to do with the audits, guys. See, we've had conversations with Fan, and she knows that the courts are not going to do things against the county because they're in bed together doing wrong. If y'all remember, I think it was Gallardo said, oh, we already know what they're going to do with the ballots because the attorneys for the other side told us. So what they're saying is the legislative attorneys, y'all understand the legislature always had legislative counsel. You can send something to the legislature right now, and the first hands it touches legislative counsel. So why do we attack places where it can't work? No, actually, Fabio, see, watch this, y'all. Look, this is how dumb he is. Watch this. And I'm going to call you dumb now because you're just saying stuff with emotionalism and not intellect. Okay, Dave, then let's never prosecute anyone ever again. Just doesn't work. Now, watch how silly this guy is. Mr. Fabio, I love you so much. I'm showing your dumb comments so I can destroy you. And I'm being nice enough to let you stay on because I kind of got a little bit of respect for you. I just know you're mentally soft. I know that you're freaking emotional as heck and you're not going to use the law. So he says never prosecute anybody again. Guys, do y'all know that we just had 5,000 notices go to Mark Brnovich, and y'all notice that Mark Brnovich came out with a statement where he says, oh, we're definitely going to go deep into this. We always supported the legislature's constitutional right to do this audit. Did y'all not realize that we sent notices to the Attorney General and to the courts already way in the beginning of the time in the audit, telling them not to interfere against them, and that Mark Brnovich came out and said, yeah, this is right. And then when we went after the DOJ and gave notice, at the same time we gave the DOJ notice, we did a video of why we had the power for the legislature to do this in the state. And then Mark Brnovich came out the next day with everything in the video in a letter telling why the legislature had the constitutional right to do this. And he's telling firmly now he's going to do something. Why? No, you actually did make a personal attack. You said I took money from somebody with no evidence as a freaking lie. That's some clown stuff, Fabio. It's really soft and weak and gay. Really, it is. Like, really gay, bro. Like, hand down gay. That's what that junk is. You're saying that we took money from somebody because you don't have the understanding to realize that we're playing freaking chess, not checkers. You're playing freaking Scrabble and we're playing chess. That's what's happening. You're living off emotion, mad because somebody don't give you something. Here's what I understand. We knew that if you got into a court, there could be a fight that would pull the people out of arrest. And when you get arrested by the legislature, my friend, that warrant only allows you to be pulled into their presence. When you're pulled into their presence, you have to present what they have for you to present, or they can hold you there as long as they are in session. Remember when they first started this, they were out of session. Then when they were in session, they could bring you in and hold you in session. But this is what you don't understand, Fabio, because you're just talking. 5,000 notices went in already within the last few days, I think since September 26th. So September 26th, when you're just running around with your friends, Arizona, and them complaining about how Karen Fan flipped and all this, and we're so scared and we're screwed and it wasn't a real audit and all this bullcrap, we were already putting in notices and affidavits for decertification. Did you know that? It went to Mark Brnovich, who's coming out publicly and making a statement about all the people who have come at him. You don't know who came at him because you're sitting on the side crying with no remedy. You don't know. But did you know in those documents, it said that we don't trust the government to prosecute each other, so we want access to the grand jury to deliver evidence directly to them? Did you know that, Fabio? See, you're saying, well, let's not prosecute forever because it don't work. No, it doesn't work because attorneys are running the situation and we can't get direct access to the prosecution, to the people who write indictments. So we did a notice, the second one of the sort, that tells that we want direct access to the legislature, to Mark Brnovich and everybody else, that we want direct access to the grand jury again. Now, Fabio, that would get rid of the bar attorneys running our country, wouldn't it? See, you're sitting up here talking about, oh, bar attorneys are running our country. It's so bad. Should we never prosecute? That's what, see, in the ghetto, they would say a punk B would do that. I don't give a freak about being here complaining. Bro, I haven't seen my kids in 3 years. You don't see me here complaining about my life because victory is about everybody. See, Joe Altman and Clements and those guys who watch us realize that we're having more remedy than everybody in the nation because we're helping everybody at the same time. And we're not soft where we care about our own situations. Our own situation and worrying about our own life is what got us here, Fabio. When you go fight in Iraq, or if you fought, I don't know if you fought or not. When you went there, you went as an order follower who got paid to go fight in another country. That was for your life and for your family, though. Now you have a situation where everybody's life on the line and you're talking about, oh, I don't go live. I don't go live with people. I don't like to be seen like that. If you want to save the nation, you're going to throw your anus on the freaking hand grenade. See, I get to come on here and Josh gets to come on here and we got to suffer through situations where people who are supposed to be fighting, who haven't done anything, get to challenge us as judges as if they're doing something to really help the people. But you admit you ain't going to come on live with me. You don't want 30% of the smoke I'll give you. I will embarrass you from here to wherever, and you know it. I'll ask you questions about the law, and you'll fold in front of everybody. You'll look like a clown. So you know not to, you want to hide behind the keyboard and make comments about stuff like, well, we don't want to prosecute anybody ever. So why the freak am I asking? Why am I demanding the grand jury back? Why? The grand jury are the ones who write indictments for the government officials. So why am I doing that? Why did we never try to prove fraud? You know why? Because maladministration is totally different than fraud. Maladministration, you can remove a whole government entity because the danger of maladministration. We don't have to wait for them to tear everything up. As a matter of fact, if the nation would just slow down and listen, and we didn't have Clements trying to run interference on everything we do and other people, what would happen is we would have already taught the whole nation. If people like Mike Lindell and people like Trump and all these other people would have just slowed down and talked to people who really get audits, what would happen is we would have told them about maladministration and showed them in the law, and the people of the nation would have already known that they can reverse government with nobody's help. Already. That's how much power we have. See, y'all worried about, not y'all as in everybody who's watching, that's good, but Fabio and his team are worried about what they see. You don't even understand faith, Fabio. See, real fighters go to Super Bowls, but the people who go to Super Bowls, Fabio, don't see the Super Bowl game on day one. They're not guaranteed Super Bowl success. But every time they curl, Fabio, they're building their muscle to go against opponents who could be stronger than them. Every time they watch film, Fabio, they're preparing, seeing victory before it comes. That's the difference between a Ray Lewis and you. You see what the government officials do, and you're moved and swayed by it. There was no such thing of an audit when I was fighting to get the audit with Josh. It never happened before. And people told us they will never give the evidence. They will never show it to y'all. What makes you think that you're going to get this and you're not an attorney? What? I'm like, listen, dude, I'm not going to court. This is how funny it is, everybody. I'm going to tell y'all a true situation that happened. You don't want to talk about Karen Phan's documented history. First of all, I don't know all of Karen Phan's documented history. Secondly, I don't give a freak. I don't give a freak about what people do in their documented life as long as they do what I documented say. That's what a boss does. A boss says, I don't give a freak how many places you went, who you work with, sweep my floor. That's what a boss does. You, on the other hand, don't understand how to be a boss. So you think that the game is over and everything is lost because somebody didn't get a freaking spunk log? You don't think we can get it? Do you not understand, Fabio, that we the people understanding that we can use grand juries is totally different than what has happened with most of the people on this page in the last 50 years? Everybody on this page, Fabio, doesn't know a history of presenting to the grand jury. Everyone. None of them have a history of consistently reporting bad things from the government to the grand jury. If there's one person on here, let them say so. But they will tell you it was not even in their realm of thinking. Getting audits on full forensic audits was not in people's thinking. It came from me and Josh. We made affidavits from day one telling people on November 3rd what was going to happen. How the freak do you think we did that? Because we knew how government is supposed to work. And we knew that all we had to do is take the information of what we know in the Constitution, show it to the government, and they can no longer hide as we teach the people. So now the people have stepped up and kicked butt and made things happen that never happened before. And you're complaining about some spunk logs. We got freaking so much information showing maladministration that the people have the power across the country to take down all of this and Biden immediately if they just knew. But soft people who think like you, Fabio, will sit here and cry about what you don't have. We have proven maladministration. When they ended the freaking audit, what did they say? When they ended the audit, even Ken Bennett, who's softer in his personality, said, well, we know that they didn't follow multiple statute. Guys, if you don't follow the statute that guides you, that means you're acting in the private and is not government anymore. You're not acting as a government official if you're doing things nobody gave you the authority to do. That means it was never certifiable in the first place. And there's no statute of limitation on two things: jurisdiction and fraud. Y'all want to prove fraud, which means you got to go to court. And the courts have been cheating, and the courts are full of attorneys, and the courts are the ones who got Lynn Wood on video and punked him like he was somebody's clown and dogged him. Now, if you're going to say that Michigan judge didn't freaking dog freaking Lynn Wood out, as big as his name is, as much as he's done in history, with Sidney Powell and all these other people, she dogged them in front of the nation and nobody fixed it. Show me the government official or attorney who pressed charges on that judge when she dogged them out and she told them in front of all y'all, when you become a member of the bar, you don't have rights like that no more. She told y'all she's punishing them as a member of an association. Now, you want to keep running to court and prove fraud. Sidney Powell is about to lose her license over saying that there was fraud. Giuliani already got his license taken in New York over trying to say that there was fraud. When are these smart attorneys going to learn that you need to quit using that word fraud like you can prove somebody did something when you don't know who did it? Now, Fabio, I'm telling you, you trying to say what everybody else did. So you are, okay, Fabio, is your intellect that messed up that you can't understand plain English? Fabio, most people in the country want to prosecute the Board of Supervisors. The only reason they don't is because they don't know that we're supposed to go straight to the grand jury. And when we make it known that we own the grand jury, who do you think is going to bring evidence to get the Board of Supervisors who, by report and without denial, did not follow election law? Do you think the game is lost because the legislature didn't prosecute freaking the Board of Supervisors? Are you so silly that you don't realize the legislature can't prosecute? Y'all see how silly this guy is? They're getting away. Fan didn't get them. Fan can't arrest the Board of Supervisors. Fan don't have the power to arrest. Even when the person was messing with, the news reporter was coming after Rita, whatever her name is, Ugenta Rita, she had to ask the officer to arrest him. She doesn't have the power to arrest anybody. Fabio, you could come live, bro. I'll give you a link. I would love to give you this smoke and look at your face when I'm doing it to you. I know you're a little afraid, but you're saying I'm okay with the Board of Supervisors getting away. Do you not realize 10 months ago, 9 months ago, me and Josh set up the Board of Supervisors to get prosecuted? Yeah, when is this all happening? 2 weeks, a month? I'll hold my breath. When did the audit happen? Because that's what everybody said too. They'll hold their breath. When the audit gonna happen? When will they ever give any evidence of any wrong? Will they ever show anything? When will they ever listen to y'all? How did that go? We won, right? So shut the freak up. You sound like a clown. You should be holding your breath because you're a weak order follower who's sitting there waiting for some, man, shut the freak up. You don't have phone service, but you're using the freaking internet right now. You're a freaking clown. Stop lying. That's how much of a buster you are. You're on the internet right now using service and then say you don't have phone service. If you're on the internet watching YouTube, you could be on the internet right here on this program, get your anus ripped up in front of everybody, but you're fake. That's what the truth is. No phone service, but you're typing. You're a liar and you just proved it. That's what you are. I didn't call you a liar before, but now I'm gonna call you a liar. You're a liar and a weak liar. Messed up. This dude just lied. This dude might be the one who stole the election. Matter of fact, he's sitting there typing, talking about there is no spunk logs of me typing. My phone don't work where I'm at, where I'm working it, where I'm at. Bro, this dude must think we dumb. So guys, let me let y'all see. So guys, we told Karen not to say the word fraud. We said, don't prove fraud. Don't try to, don't ever claim it. And y'all notice when she went out in front of everybody, she said in the first big hearing, we never set out to prove fraud, and we told the other states the same thing. But what we want to do is see what happened. The jurisdiction of the legislature is to research and investigate anything by which they could write future legislation. That's why the door was open. Oh my, it's satellite internet at Einstein. So why did you just say at your house? Why did you just say where you live? If you're at Einstein, take your anus on that internet. I'll give you the link and get your back blown out sitting at Einstein. You're going to need a bagel to digest what I'm going to give to you. So open it up, get this link and get this smoke. Catch these PCAPs, bro. Come on. Don't run and hide, bro. That's weak stuff. You already said you went to Iraq. So you got to have a little bit of gangster in you. Come get some of this smoke because I'll happily hand it out to you and show you how you're a clown. Now, guys, understand that Karen was smart enough to continue to say that she's doing this for the people, just like we demanded, and that she was doing this to find out what happened so they can make new laws. That was the jurisdiction of the legislature. not to prosecute anybody, not to say you found fraud, because you have to prove fraud and you have to claim who did fraud. We don't give a freak about claiming who did what before we know that there's a what to deal with. So now that we know that there's a what to deal with, the next logical step, guys, which we knew from the beginning, was to deal with the election based on maladministration. People did not follow the law. Now, what did Ken Bennett come out and say at the end of the situation? Oh, there's at least 5, 6, 7, 8 laws that they did not follow during the election, and here they are. And he gave the statutes. Do y'all know what that did? See, they're not to say the word fraud, because that has to be proven. And if I claim you committed fraud without any proof, you can sue my pants off. So the legislature would be dumb to say, oh, we have proof of fraud. They can say, oh, it wasn't what it was supposed to be. They didn't follow the law. We think some people might have lied about what they did or something like that. But they cannot say a statement that is going to be 100% conclusive, because the people are the jury. See, this is when people don't understand the difference between statutory law and the common law. In the common law, the jury of your peers tells if you're guilty of something, right? So you could bring a case before the court. You're going to have to put up some money to declare that what you're saying is true. And if you lie, you can lose it and you can go to prison too, right? In statutory law, you'll notice that it says any person who does this is guilty of this. You're already found guilty if you don't follow the rule and statute that you need to follow. So the thing is, the legislature don't know who did every single part of every little thing. So they can't just say, hey, you actually are the one who put this in the computer. You are the one who cheated this way. But the first step is to find that there was maladministration, which they did, a ton of it. 200 and something thousand ballots that cannot be certified. Trump lost by 10,000. Think about this, guys. So what's next? The next thing is you have to focus on getting access to the grand juries, which if everybody knows we're supposed to have access to the grand jury, and everybody's mad about the government cheating, and everybody realized they didn't prosecute each other, right? If everybody realizes they're not going after each other how they would go after the regular people, what do you think the people are going to do? The people are going to demand that they be prosecuted. So when the people demand that they are prosecuted, they actually get prosecuted. Isn't that crazy? That's a deep thought. Epstein, guys. Epstein had cover from the government. And what people would do is people would know that Epstein was raping people, but they would not tell. So what did we do? The people, and I know some of them, kept going and showing people what was being done and kept putting it out there and kept giving notice to the point that the government could no longer hide the fact that Epstein was raping people. And when they did that, Epstein got arrested for real. Epstein's life was no longer the same. But what people will want you to believe is, and I think my screen froze. What people will want you to believe is, why did it stop? Sorry, guys, something happened and my messages, my comments stopped coming in. Let's see if I push test and see if it'll. Okay. So guys, the comments just froze up. So what you guys got to understand is that, like I said, so she got caught having trouble connecting. Okay, you guys can still see me, but my comments suck on one device. So what you guys got to understand is that we had a situation where Epstein was getting away until people started speaking up, right? And then after people started speaking up about what was going on, when people started speaking up about what was going on, that's when we had situations happen where people got caught. So we got to understand, guys, that it's a process of getting people caught up when the government isn't working the way that they're supposed to. You got to get to the point where you start pushing them to do what they're supposed to do, but that can never happen until the government officials learn that it's their duty to do this. So when you are setting up stuff like we're setting up now, Josh and I knew ahead of time that some of these people would try to protect each other. Some of them would act as deep staters, but we didn't care, because when you're setting people up to get caught up in maladministration, you're asking them to do what's right, knowing that they may not do what's right. And you're not basing your whole life off of hoping that they do right. But what you're doing is you're giving them instructions, knowing that they will be bound later for not following the instructions. So if somebody is fighting and we realize they're not going all the way, or they're doing wrong, or they're trying to cheat, we have the proof of what they did wrong inside of the stuff. We've already started the next step, Matt Steed. We have 5,000 affidavit notices that went down to Mark Brnovich and the whole legislature already. And Josh Barnett and I, maladministration has already been proven. And here's the thing you got to understand, guys. We have the power to get rid of bad government if we're unhappy. We ain't got to go to court and say that they did something we didn't like them to do, all this stuff. So what you got to understand is, guys, when you get your government officials to start telling the truth, right? And they start exposing that the law has not been followed completely. Now you have evidence of the law not being shown completely, and you have evidence of people trying to hide it. Now, when people try to hide it, what are they doing? Committing more maladministration and possibly treason. So I'm like, hey, see, y'all got to understand, when people say, oh man, we're so unhappy because the legislature didn't prove to us that there was wrong, or they stopped it, or they did this or that, I'm like, yay, tell everybody, tell the nation you can't get the spunk laws. Tell the nation you can't do it. Why? Let me help y'all see something. When the government tells you their hands are tied and they can't handle your business and they're stuck, that means that they're not capable of handling your business, right? So if they're not capable of handling your business, that means that now you're in a position where you can take the authority back. Watch. Me and Josh showed President Fan how they can remove authority from Katie Hobbs, right? Y'all remember in the middle of the audit situation, Katie Hobbs got stripped from her authority? Right? She got stripped of her authority. Now, why is this good for Josh and I and for the people? Because when the people realize that the legislature can snatch the authority from the county, they realize, holy crap, they just used the power move and punked them, right? So then what happens next? The people realize it's possible to pull back authority that you gave. Where did the legislature get all their power? From us. So when you tell us you can't handle our business and you can't arrest people because the courts won't let you, what's the logical next step? Oh, the courts won't work right? They're in maladministration? Oh, they won't prosecute people? Oh, awesome. This is good. If you're telling us that the government won't help you, and you're telling us the courts are cheating, and you're telling us now we have a record of the courts not doing what they're supposed to do with the people watching. What if the people knew they had the authority to take back the grand jury and prosecute everybody who's not doing their duty? Remember, maladministration comes from not taking care of the duties you swore to do. So what's one of the duties you swore to do as a judge? To faithfully execute your position as a judge, to prosecute wrongdoers. But you won't do it. Awesome. Because now you're showing the people you won't do it. See, David Jose by himself could be a bad mamma jamma, but he's not that good when he doesn't have people also fighting who know the truth, because they just hide it. And just like Altman talking about how the judges are destroying and doing wrong and hiding stuff in the case he's in right now, no matter how brilliant he is by himself, he has no power because the government officials are just going to sweep it under the rug and hide it. But when they won't go get the spunk logs in front of all of us, that shows us, well, there must be a reason for that. Either you're deep state or they're not helping you. Either way, it's maladministration because you're not doing what you faithfully said you would do. So when we get the grand juries, y'all, just like we wanted the audit, what's going to happen? We're going to show the people, indict these clowns. They're government officials who think the law don't apply to them. Yeah, here it is. We gave them 100 notices, 1,000 notice. What the freak do you think the grand jury is going to say when they know that we gave the legislature, the board of supervisors, thousands of notices of what their job descriptions are, and they did not follow? What do you think the grand jury is going to do to the school boards when we've given them thousands of notices and we got it, the mail that shows it came, or notarized affidavits, and we can show video where they said they laughed at the people because the people don't have power, and the people realize, holy crap, we do have power, we do run the government, and these people have been for the last 9 months nailing us with affidavits and notices, and they're going to drop. There was 10,000 affidavits sent in Michigan, y'all, and they're too stupid to know what we did. What we did was show maladministration. The very fact that you ignore them is maladministration. So when we show the grand jury that you ignored 10,000 affidavits, people go to prison for one affidavit. 2 will get you really tore up and some serious trouble. 10,000 affidavits sent to the same legislatures. 10,000. See, people are playing checkers. They're like, oh, so how are we going to do anything? Motherfreaker, we've been doing stuff for months before you even thought it, before it even came into your mind it existed. We were doing this stuff. We were putting things in place knowing that we were going to get the freaking grand juries back. Now, we already didn't hit people with notice. Mark Bronovich got 5,000 affidavits. The affidavit mamas got 50 more notices. The affidavit mamas got 50 affidavits in person just the other day. They got another event today. Guys, we got an audit with 120 affidavits. The affidavit mamas will have more affidavits for the decertification and stuff now. Josh and I have another notice that's going out today that's going to deal with the legislature and them trying to vote based on their political party. We're going to go after both parties and we're going to make them do what we want them to do. And it also says in there that we want the grand jury. So guys, a lot of people are playing games, wondering and hoping that things might work. We got people like Nick sending people over here talking about some, Dave, what are we going to do? How are we going to fix this and fix that? You don't care. Karen Fan isn't doing this. Listen, I don't give a freak what Karen Fan does because I'm the boss. Josh is the boss. You guys are the boss. Karen Fan can do right or she can do wrong. But what's going to happen is whatever Karen Fan does is going to catch up with Karen Fan if she don't do what's right. Whatever the attorneys do that interfere with her is going to catch up with them if they don't do what's right. Whatever freaking the board of supervisors have done is going to catch up with them and it's going to come back out no matter what. And that's why I'm not moved about what people do when I've already set it up and noticed that if you do the wrong thing, your ain't is going to go to prison. And I'm teaching the people. See, the difference between a lot of these guys like Clements, like Fabio now acting like a little girl, like freaking Nick Masseter and Bahizzi, they're attacking Karen Fan who did everything we told her to do and they don't know the background. They don't know that we told her, don't you ever say fraud. Don't say that. So she proved maladministration and left it and showed y'all and ended the thing showing where there was maladministration all over the place. It's not her job to be a judge or a jury. It's not her job. She would be breaking the law if she did that. So she's shutting her freaking mouth because she don't want to get challenged by a court who says, well, you said they committed fraud. Now prove it. Who did it? Tell us their name. See, that's how ignorant it gets, guys, in real situations. I'm going to tell you a little something else. So, guys, we also have a situation where we dealt with getting the audit. And then, I just want to say, I'm only involved with this audit thing because Josh Barnett brought me to the table. And let me know if y'all understand how we just trapped them from 8-9 months ago and how a lot of them have failed and they're in trouble and why it doesn't matter. Guys, what you got to understand is that, I got involved with this audit stuff because of Josh. Josh actually brought me to the table, brought me to a meeting with Kelly Ward, her husband, Mike, Tom, the attorney for GOSAR, his chief of staff, GOSAR, Adele, all these people were there, and we had a meeting to deal with what was going on and to get a full forensic audit. The job of a full forensic audit, y'all, is not to prove fraud in my eyes, because here's what happens. We take over the grand jury, right? Now the grand jury belongs to us. We then come back and deal with any issue with anybody who's done wrong with a good government now. See, when you're fighting part of the government, you block them from having jurisdiction to deal with certain things. Dave, how did you get a full forensic audit in Arizona, but in New Hampshire, we couldn't get one? The reason is because the people in New Hampshire started off doing the right thing by doing no, they didn't. They had the affidavits and notices, and they didn't turn them in at first because they were thinking that they were going to have somebody else do it. So Marilyn Todd and her husband had the information from us to turn in affidavits. They didn't turn them in. They let another guy who was an older guy who was on a video with us, Tom and somebody else. They thought they were going to turn it in from what they said, so they didn't turn it in right away. So then we got all our stuff. Everything was good. They didn't turn in the affidavits. Then they tried later. Now, after you turn in your affidavits, the people in the legislature are going to start talking. So then what happened is Marilyn Todd started dealing with Bahizzi, Nick, and you'll see them on the shows with CanCon and Clements and them. So they got Harry Hursty to talk. Now, after you do these affidavits, these people usually start talking. They got them to talk, but none of the attorneys who were on the show with them, Susan Senbrino, Clements, none of them got these guys put under oath. So they pretty much just let these guys use their platform, but they were not sworn. And at the time, Clements didn't like me, so they made sure not to let me on the show with Clements. If you go back and watch the video of the show, you'll see people saying, get Clements off of here, get these other cons off of here, get Dave Jose on here so he can go after them. They didn't want me to go after them because they felt they had attorneys who could do stuff. And we see the attorneys put nobody under oath, proved no fraud, did nothing that they normally do, didn't try to get anybody prosecuted, didn't try to make them swear under penalty of perjury, didn't get those ladies who did the audits over there of the tapes to do anything in writing as a form of an affidavit. So now there's no evidence to give to a grand jury, no evidence to show to anybody, no evidence to hold anybody accountable. They didn't do anything to get people punished, and that's why they lost everything. They start talking about proving fraud. See, this is what Nick does. We got to prove fraud, and we can show it, and we can show that there was so much fraud. Bro, you're doing things the opposite way. You're doing things the opposite way. Why, if you own the government and you can get rid of it because they're doing maladministration, are you even wasting your time talking about fraud? I don't want to prove fraud. I don't want to go to court. I don't want to take a long time. I want to teach my government officials what they're supposed to do and let them carry out the actions they're going to carry out and get what I need to show maladministration. That's all I care about. See, the legislative officials who don't go for the audit when we tell them to, they are ignoring our right. That's in the Constitution. That's maladministration and treason. So look, stealing an election might be treason, maybe. You might go to prison for a long time, but maladministration and then treason will get you put in prison for life. I don't give a freak which thing I prosecute you for if you get more with what you did, right? So we got to understand that. So these people did that same thing. And then Frank got in touch with the people in Pennsylvania, right? So Frank and Clements and all these guys run around to every state, taking pictures with people and talking to people and giving some of them money to carry out their process. So they don't realize Clements and Frank never got an audit, ever, in any state. So what they do is they take credit as if they're getting audits. They teach you to do dumb stuff that don't work. They remove you away from remedy. And this is why we are the only ones who got the full forensic audit. Now, you could say, I wish we got spunk logs. It would be cool. But if y'all remember when we were talking about spunk logs, I'm like, I don't give a freak. They're like, Dave, why aren't you writing affidavits to get spunk logs? I told the government with Josh that they have the power to do it. If you don't do it, that's on you. Later on, everybody will know what happened and we will have the grand jury and we'll see what happens. Now, Karen, I can tell y'all that I saw Karen actually knew that the courts would go against them and try to block the truth. So she wanted to spend the least amount of time dealing with the courts. And I understand that, because the courts don't work. They've grown to be cheaters. This is why we as the people have to correct the courts. And me and Josh are coming out with stuff. We showed y'all how the courts are stealing money from you with traffic stuff. We're going to show how they're stealing your kids. We're going to show how they're stealing your houses. We're going to show how they're stealing your cars, your dogs, your grandmothers, your relationships, your kids. We're going to show it. And we're going to make them nationwide, just like we did with the legislature, come out and show, do you want to work for the people or not? We're not putting cases in their court where we beg them. We're going to put stuff out there. But let me tell y'all a little bit about what it's like to fight in this audit battle. So guys, when we deal with this whole audit situation and we fight in this battle, I can tell you guys that there's a lot of people who are in this battle because of Josh. And it's not just because I like Josh and he's my friend. Josh knows and I know if I start doing wrong and doing evil, I will no longer be around Josh. And it's the same way the other way around. We hold each other to an exceptional freaking standard. We know we got to be bosses and we got to fight, period. Yep. That's right, Antoine. So what you got to understand is that Josh brought me to the table, as I was saying earlier, to be part of this audit, right? And he brought me to the table to do PMAs, for others. I did it for him, but he wanted everybody to be saved, right? Josh brought me to the table, right? So a lot of y'all are watching these events, and I got to say something about it now. Josh might get mad at me for saying it because these are his friends, but I'm going to freaking say it. So there's events with Mike Lindell. There's events with Ann Vandersteel, who me and Josh both love. There's events with General Flynn, who Josh respects a lot. I've never had a chance to meet him, but I think he's a cool dude. Josh even has campaign managers. And this is how silly this stuff is. The whole We the People AZ Alliance group, right? They had an event the other day. Bahizzy was at the event. I actually saw Bahizzy at the event. Bahizzy ain't speak to me. Bahizzy was far away from wherever I was, even when I walked near him. But what's funny is, and it just shows you what real life, a lot of people got a lot of stuff to say about you behind closed doors. When they see you in real life, it's like you're the Black Plague. Like they're like, whoo, I don't want to be close to that guy, right? All that stuff people say on the internet, it don't really happen in real life like that. And I'm just telling you how real life is. But it's crazy that Bahizzy was at an event with AZ, We the People Alliance, but yet Josh Barnett, who set up to get the audit, wasn't invited. So it was on a Thursday. Josh wasn't invited. Josh saw us do an interview there where people who were there knew that we are the ones who made the audit happen. I don't care about me so much. Josh is the political dude. He brought me to the table. I just know the law, right? So Josh wasn't invited. I saw a situation where they had another event in Wisconsin. They didn't tell Josh, but then they called Josh and asked for our affidavits to help fight, even though they didn't believe in the affidavits at first. This is what real life is like. The people who were campaign managers for Josh have events and Josh ain't invited. They had another event in another state. Josh's name, his picture wasn't even on the freaking flyer with everybody else. So you got, Patrick Byrne, I think it was, and all these different people, all these big names, just throw some out there. I don't remember exactly who it was. And then they forget Josh. But they got involved with the audit because of Josh. I'm going to tell you another secret y'all don't know. These people actually helped do the organization of the audit after we got the audit set up and put stuff in place and got everybody picked who Josh said we should pick. Josh actually introduced his campaign managers to Karen Fann, and that's how they were able to have a active part in the audit. But they don't invite him places. I don't get it. People will try to take credit for what they did not do. They will try to be part of what you do and take your stuff. But it's funny as heck to me how people act, because if these people knew Patrick Byrne since 2018. Patrick Byrne has enough followers. He has enough followers that if all the followers knew what the real law said about maladministration, we would have victory already. If you look at who we hating today. Oh, Bones Mama. So anyway, y'all. So what we got to realize is when we look at how things really work, Josh brought them to the table, let them meet Karen Fan, and then they were able to establish a relationship to organize the audits and the people who would come and be volunteers. But you got to realize they would not be there if it was not for Josh. But then they have access to all these people with big names, you know, General Flynn, Sidney Powell, all this stuff, and they don't tell them about Josh. The dude who got remedy and got answers and brought everybody together, why don't they tell them? Why, if we're trying to get the word out to the people to know their rights, do we keep having symposium talking about PCAPs and all this stuff that's not happening? Nobody's getting any, but we can't talk about the power of the people to really stand. It doesn't make sense to me, but these people will say, like Ann Vandersteel one time gave them credit at an event that they didn't have Josh speaking at. And Ann Vandersteel actually said they actually are the ones responsible for getting the audit. I'm like, that's not true. Josh got the audit. And he invited them to meet with Karen Fan after the fact. Like, what the freak gives here? It's crazy to me that people can see clearly how things got the way that they got. But what they will do is they will let a lie be put out there and enjoy the spotlight in the lie rather than telling the truth. You ask me if I've been involved with any numbers or anybody's analysis of the election. I'll tell you, heck no, I didn't do that. Right? Hey, Dave, did you make the meeting happen to get things going? No, that was Josh. Right? It's okay to tell the truth and play in your lane and play, you know, the role that you play. But to me, it's sad because people will. So Josh Barnett got the audit. AZ We the People Alliance will have Behizzy at an event who ain't never did no audit. Nick Masita ain't never did an audit, right? These people are attacking Karen Fan, who Josh hooked up AZ We the People Alliance with Karen Fan. They're attacking Karen Fan, who we all know Karen Fan is fighting against the deep state and attorneys. But Karen Fan hasn't been taught the law just like we didn't. Karen Fan didn't learn the law in school. She didn't learn about the state constitution. She didn't know all the stuff she could do before we started talking to her about it. So what y'all got to understand is there's a battle behind the scenes that's huge. And we're trying to lead her to do the right things while the attorneys are trying to say you'll go to prison if you do this. They'll come after you if you do this. Oh, no, you don't want to get caught up with that. So you got to understand, guys, there's pressure. But notice, Professor Clements, Behizzy, and Nick, who all worked together, y'all, who couldn't do anything with New Hampshire, who didn't do anything with Hursty, who they had with evidence that he did wrong, none of them came out with anything to get them in trouble, right? None of them came out with anything, but Fan put her life on the line, got white powder in the mail, kept fighting to bring out maladministration. Understand, we told her to do that. And I actually have proof of it. We told her to do that and told her to never say that it was fraud. And we also told her to blame it on the people. Blame it on the people. We, the people, demanded you do this. That's where you coming from, nothing else. And that's what she did. So when guys are clowning and all emotional online saying, guys, we got to prove fraud and David and Josh isn't making Fan prove fraud. First of all, you act like we didn't do anything about the affidavit. About the audit. Now you're saying it's our responsibility to get Fan to prove fraud. And you're wondering why we didn't do an affidavit to force her to get the spunk logs using a warrant. We showed her they could do it. But you got to understand, guys, that when you're fighting against courts that cheat, every one of your government officials will tell you the courts cheat. All these bar attorneys in the movement tell you the court's cheating. We can't trust them. So why they keep trying to make Fan go to court? They wanted Fan to go to court because they knew that would kill the audit. Me and Josh were saying, keep your anus away from the court. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking they might be fast. They're going after Wendy Rogers. Like, the people who actually fighting for audits and going around the country fighting for audits, they're trying to act like they have a reason to do this, but really they don't. And you got to realize when Clements and Nick Masseter and all of them were on a video with Hursty and all those people, when did they put them under oath to get them prosecuted and take them before a court? Why didn't the prosecutor, the guy who put people in prison for a living, Professor Clements, not tell them to put them under oath and then tell them how to take him before the grand jury and prosecute his anus? Why? They had evidence. He didn't tell them to do a single thing that he tells Fan she should have done. Why? Why? See, if we don't know that the grand jury exists, and y'all got to understand, Wendy is new, right? Wendy is a military lady. She's not freaking educated in the law like crazy. She's just a fighter. Now, she goes out and she talks to a lot of people. I think she should focus on talking to Josh so she can learn the law, but I don't think she realizes the value of talking to Josh yet. She's not one of the people we taught in the legislature. But yeah, they are hurting, but y'all got to understand, Nick and Behizzi are hurting the movement because they're attacking the people who actually did real audits. Notice this. They had a chance to go after the people in New Hampshire. Nick and Behizzi are not going after them like crazy and trying to force audits in any other state. They know about Georgia acting stupid. They are not going after them, putting pressure on the people who have not done anything with the audit. They know about Ohio. They know about Texas. They are not going after the people actively who already got something done. You have maladministration proven by Karen Fan and her teams that she hired. Why are you not focusing on the ones who just say, F you, we're not doing anything? Explain that to me. How is it that they don't go after them at all? They're not putting heavy pressure on these clowns who did nothing. You see what I'm saying? So guys, a lot of the things that, who did you find from them? What's that mean, Ken? I can't understand. Yeah, Seth Keshel too, running around talking stupid, taking pictures with people. These guys are great at taking pictures. They're not very good at doing anything to get people caught up, right? So the thing is, you can play these games and act like you got to attack the people that's easy to attack. This is like the bully attacking the Christian. The bully knows that the Christian is told not to punch him back. Ask the bully to go punch one of the gangsters in the school. The bully don't want to do it, right? So the thing is, they came into this movement and made money because they reported news about the audit that me, Josh, and the people, y'all, got. They weren't here when we got the audit stuff set up. Y'all did that, right? So they attacked them. But then there's people who never got an audit. They're not attacking them. They made their name off of these audits. And as soon as everything is over with Arizona, who's the only ones who got audit, they're no longer anything. So now they're going to have to figure out, how do we make a living? How do we make a life? How do we keep our family off work or make dough when we have nothing else to do? Me and Josh take off from what we do for a living to help people in this and make way less money. Way less money, right? I have to lower my businesses to be able to do all these videos. So what you I'm telling you, see, there's a difference. See, there's a Christian, and then there's a Christian from the West Side. That's the one you don't want to roll up on. He's from the West Side of the kingdom. Right? But guys, you got to understand that these guys have a name off of dealing with audit stuff. So the more people they can go after that makes them look cool. See, Doug probably told his filters he made $250,000 in 4 months. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not against people even getting money, but why keep attacking people who actually got audits done when you know there's groups of people who didn't get a single audit? And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Going after the people who did nothing is super hard because you can't see how everything is going to go, and you have to be resilient. You have to keep fighting. You have to overcome objections. These people don't know the law. So the first time an attorney says something to them on the other side, they don't know what to do. They're like, holy crap. He said we don't have the power to do this. Okay, so where do we show how we had the power to do this? You can't. Now you messed up, right? So with us, the legislature, we had meetings with them, and some of the attorneys would try to say in the legislature, oh no, you can't do this or that. Then I'll write an affidavit within an hour, go get it printed out, notarized, and send it to them with Josh and blast them with the law and embarrass them. And the government officials started gaining more and more confidence in me because I was showing how they didn't know what they were talking about. To the point that one of the government officials who first challenged us called Josh on trying to figure out what to do when the board of supervisors came back at him. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Josh can verify if I'm telling the truth or not. It was funny as heck. He literally called Josh or texted him like, hey, we trying to figure this out, whatever. I'm like, oh, you talking now, huh? You know, you ain't that cocky no more. But this is the thing about teaching your legislature, guys. We're not fighting the legislature. Not all of them. Some of them are some deep state crooks. Some of them are people who really trying to fight but just don't know what to do. So you got to teach them. This is the part that's not fun, is not cute. It can be high stress. You might not sleep at night. 2 o'clock in the morning, you be thinking about what you're going to show them next and tell them next to direct them. And so, guys, I can tell you, we built some amazing relationships with certain people in the legislature. Some of them don't like us because we don't give a freak and we go at them hard. But what you got to understand is we have to build up our servants to know the truth and be able to fight and have courage. Some of the legislature just don't fight because they don't know what to do. Oh yeah, boss gonna get it. They don't know what to do. And what y'all got to understand is this isn't a pretty battle. It is head up, intellect versus intellect. You get people who went to school and did law for a living, and then we have to come learning law new and fresh over the last few years. And we have to battle who they have as the best in front of everybody. If we say one thing wrong, guys, we get laughed at. People torment us. You get people like Fabio Driven coming on, and we ain't even wrong. And he's like, oh, well, you know what? Dave, you're just friends with the deep state, and everybody you help is deep state, and everything you do is deep state. And why aren't you doing this? And you don't want people to get prosecuted. I'm like, dude, you sound like a dang idiot. But the people who are even on our side will clown us. When I first showed y'all where Clements was wrong, some of y'all were attacking me. Some of y'all came over to my page to see if everything was true that we said about Clements and all this stuff. And y'all found out we told the truth. Now, some of y'all were pissed at us like, David, you're just starting drama. No, I love you enough to tell you the truth, even when you don't want to hear it. Right? Because I care about this nation. I don't give a freak about having everything in my life if we all don't get everything in all of our lives. If I get my kids saved, right? And then y'all got to get y'all kids shot with injections and your kids die. Do you think I'm going to be happy? How the freak would I live with myself? See, so many people have been about their own life, their own benefits, their own wealth, their own this and that and the other. And what they say, it ain't about me. It's not about me. That's why I keep telling y'all I'm nothing and I'm a nobody. It's about y'all. They've been picking on people person by person, stealing your stuff, hurting you, taking your cars, taking your freedom, taking your houses, taking your kids, taking your dogs, taking your grandma for years because so many people said we got to worry about our own life and not everybody else's. Your life is my issue. Your wealth is my issue. Your livelihood is my issue. Because the more that I fail to care about what happens in your life, the sooner I'm going to have nobody to stand with over my life. But if I care about your life and I'm selfless and I build everybody who wants to hear, what's going to happen is we're going to have a group of people who are so strong in the law and in the knowledge that the government will not ignore. That's how we get victory. That's how we get victory. See, there's a lot of stuff where people come and they say, one dude came on my page right today. He said, when are we going to get, if Shiva dropped so much fire, Shiva dropped enough fire by himself to show maladministration and recover government now with us. But guys, I want you to realize that we have so much victory. Like we've been winning in so many different areas, and it's because we took out a little bit of time and started fighting and standing and working together to learn. Now that you guys have learned, there's no government in the world that can stand up against y'all, right? The only reason they've been standing up against y'all is because they get y'all one at a time and hide stuff. And I think that's what's different about Josh. Like I asked Josh, I'm like, Josh, why are you helping people fight with CPS when you're not going to get elected like that, bro? Like they're going to be mad at you because that's how they make their money. He said, because it's the right thing to do. Then we'll be at CPS meetings, right? And you know when Josh is getting mad, right? You'll see his jaw clench up. You'll see his face turning red, and you'll see a vein go through his head. When you see that, it's about to be hell, right? And I see Josh listening to what's happening in the CPS fight. And he's pissed, but he ain't got no kid in CPS, right? I see what happened with the election. Josh could make millions of dollars right now and be fine no matter what happens in the election. He's protected in a PMA. He could have any other crew that he wants to provide for in a PMA, have all the food he wants, his life be great, and he could let everybody else suffer, and it won't really affect him as much as it affect everybody else. As a matter of fact, me and Josh could stop today. Josh will pay no gas tax. Josh will pay no tax on most of the stuff he gets. His life will be way better. He could produce millions of dollars. But Josh, he refused to freaking just give in and let people destroy the people. What Josh did is Josh decided he's going to take care of the people and put his life on the line and do crazy junk like chase deep state actors in airplanes who are delivering stuff, supposedly, right? They even said they were delivering stuff to the MTech Center, right? And Josh was chasing those people down, putting his life on the line. Look, I know people in the hood who would have saw Josh following them from a distance. They would have caught him. They would have pulled into an alley, let Josh pull in an alley where they had people spray Josh's car up with AK-47s or whatever. Would have killed Josh. The people who like his campaign, his ex-campaign people, know that Josh did this. Even tried to tell Josh to stand down and didn't do anything with it. They didn't carry it out and do anything with it, but Josh put his life on the line. How you going to put somebody's life on the line, let them do something that could get them killed, let your friends tell about it out in the open, right? But then you make the mistake of not putting his name on the dang speaking list of the things for the audit when he's the one who got the audit. Private membership associations is PMA. So we got to realize that Josh wasn't one of these guys like Clemens that's like, oh, they're taking my work from me. I need 500,000. Josh freaking was following the dudes who they said was dropping off pieces of paper at the audit. That's what Josh did. So Josh was willing to get killed over us. And I don't get it. Like people will give $500,000 to Clemens who ain't never put his life on the line. And then Josh will go chasing down bad guys. Yeah, Fabio, I don't know what's up with him. Fabio got quiet. Fabio, see what happens is Fabio's friend Arizona invited him to come into my groups, and I let him be an admin. And he thought that I guess that he'll just infiltrate until the time was right, and then he'll come saying some dumb junk, and he'll call me out and tear up my reputation. First of all, I don't give a freak about a reputation. I'm the man that I am at all times. I don't give a freak what anybody says. Number two. He tried to get on here and talk some junk. He tried to talk some junk last night. He must have thought I was going to bow down to him. I asked for the smoke. I called him out and said, yes, sir, I'll take that smoke. I want 3 pounds of that smoke. Do you have that smoke in extra strength? Because I want it. And then he didn't want it anymore. He didn't want the smoke anymore. It's kind of weak. Then he tried to make his little arguments behind the scenes. And then he got his back blew out. Now he's hiding, watching. He don't really want to talk. His conscience got to him. He realized he looked like an idiot and everybody laughed at him. And he was afraid to come step up with that smoke. Probably fought in Iraq, but he wasn't ready for this. And got himself embarrassed, looked like a clown. And everybody saw what kind of silly junk he's saying with his emotional self because he stuck off emotion. And that's what happens, though. You know, we have an estrogen-filled nation. You know, a lot of guys with, issues because they're drinking so much freaking soy stuff and estrogen that and it's in their meat that they turn soft, and get all emotional and breaking down over every issue. He needs to read Psalm 112 in the Bible in the KJV. It tells you that his heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord, and how he won't break down with bad news. Some of the guys hear some bad news and just break down. Like I heard, we can't do an audit, right? Me and Josh talked to Karen Fann in the beginning. She said, "Oh, we don't have the power to get subpoenas when we're not in session," because that's what the attorneys told. And then we showed her where she could, and then they did it, right? So people can act like nothing can happen. People can act like, oh, just because I got some bad news, it's over with. But that's just when you're weak and you're a soy boy and you're going to accept no as an answer from your servants. So it's kind of weak. So the thing is, guys, I'm just letting y'all know that Josh Barnett fought the fight, and we taught Karen to do certain things that she did. We never taught her to claim fraud. That's dumb, that's weak as heck, and we got a lot of guys who don't know the law, who ain't willing to sit and listen, who just want stuff to be fixed and to work right away. And they're like, oh man, how long? That's what he said after I schooled him on everything. Well, how long is it going to take to get the grand juries? Mother freaker, I don't give a freak. I'm going to fight until it's done. That's what real bosses do. Real bosses don't go and fight saying, what round am I going to knock them out in? Oh my gosh, will it take 1 round? Will it take 2 rounds? It will take what the freak it takes, right? See, that's how you know somebody who's in it, right? That's how you know who's in it to win it. A real boss is going to freaking fight, and they're not going to look at how much time it takes. They're in it and they're totally invested. Either we winning or we dying. That's how serious you got to be about this type of fight. But a lot of these soy boys are like, oh, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take to get this and that happening? Okay, somebody said, are you teaching the senators trying to work with the AG? First of all, the AG's job is to go after these things. So the job of the legislature is to investigate, to find out if something happened. Now, they were not investigating with the previous thought that somebody, hey, Kenneth, that somebody cheated, right? They weren't investigating with that. They were investigating to find out how to write future legislation to fix anything that could have been wrong. Maladministration deals with not doing your duties. They have to write new statutes with new punishment for the duties. Now, in the process of doing that, they found a whole lot of wrong, a whole lot of maladministration. People didn't do what they were supposed to do. Now, with maladministration, that's enough to decertify or reform government. Everybody in the nation could say right now, okay, we saw enough maladministration. We the people wish to reform government, change the United States government, block what the Supreme Court is doing from now on, remove Biden, because we're not in safety, we're in turmoil, and we can't have happiness because this government has ran awry. You can see that in the Virginia Bill of Rights, Section 3. So what happens is, once you find that there are things that were not done right, you give it to the proper branch to execute the laws. Who is that? The executive branch. Where's the attorney general? The executive branch. So now the executive branch goes after the people and tells them, don't get rid of stuff because we coming. So what did we do? Did we wait for everybody to figure out what was going to happen with the attorney general? No. We sent them out 5,000 notices already, and we're growing every single day. We probably end up with 10,000, 20,000 notices to Mark Brnovich, who came out with a story today saying a statement, hey, a lot of people have been coming to us. I was already down with the legislature. I'm not dropping the ball. Now, that's what he says, but he could be caught up for maladministration too if he doesn't do right. He's probably watching this video. He knows who I am. So I think that he's going to try to fight and do what's right because the people are going to make him do it. See, soft boys are sitting there crying saying, how long is it going to take? What's going to happen? When you have a fight, you don't know who's going to punch you, who's going to hit who first, who's going to dodge and not get hit. You don't know that. You just have to have the will to fight, win, be resilient, have supreme strength, and your will must be unbreakable. You must say, you're not going to freaking beat me today. I'm going today. Yesterday, you might have been all city, all state, all nation, all world. Today is going to be the day you're going to get your behind kick and I'm going to destroy you. Y'all see, I come to every debate like that. I don't even practice for a debate. I tell Fabio, get your butt on here and talk, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to you before I do it, and then I'm going to embarrass you in front of everybody. He's smart to stay behind his little shell in his comfort, lying about not having cell service while using cell service, right? Lying and saying he doesn't have access to the internet at home when he's at Einstein Bagels. Freaking liar, a fronter, a fake. He's not meant for this fight because he's a fake. He's not real, right? These guys will talk a whole lot about what's not right, but when it's time to step up and talk and put what you got to say on the line, you don't want to freaking do it. Soft, weak, cottonelle tissue, Pillsbury Doughboy, soft junk, right? So when it's time to stand up and say what's real, you have to demand respect. You have to show people the truth. So you come with a team of people who know the law. The government ain't hiding from a team of people. They might hide from you by yourself, ignore you. They ain't ignoring 5,000 people. They're not ignoring 10,000 people. That's why he's coming out and making statements already, because we've already done the work. So milquetoast, heck yeah. So while people are complaining and going after Fan, we're doing the work to deal with Fan, Brnovich, and the rest of the legislature. We got new notices going to the legislature. Oh, did you think they were going to stop because they got the audit finished? No, you're about to deal with more issues for the people. Once we know that we have the power back, the Bar Association will take power inch by inch by inch by inch and never want to give back. We allowed them to take. Now it's our turn to take our power back. And once we gain power, we're not giving it back. We're going to take more and more and more and more and more. And they're going to submit, period. That's how it's going to be. And at the same time, we're teaching the people, so the people are growing. Dave, I've served Brnovich with notice. Do I serve him again with affidavits? The notice is good. Like he already spoke up, so it's on his mind. And he knows. And in the notice, it tells we want the grand jury. Brnovich is smart. He knows why the freak we're asking for the grand jury. He knows, right? So guys, I want to let you know, like I said, Josh Barnett has done some amazing things, guys. It's a sad thing that he's the best thing that we have as a politician, and he's not a politician yet, right? He's doing the service for us already. He's doing it, giving his life, giving his time, giving time away from his son and his daughter in order to fight for the people. He does it tirelessly. He's helping to create notices. He's doing the webinars. He's doing all the things to give the people back their power. That's right. The pen is mightier than the sword. I'm going to tell y'all too. Was there a reason they left out? Jovan's part isn't done yet. So a lot of people are worried about Jovan's part is not finished. It's still going to be a place for it to go in. And if it didn't, I wouldn't give a freak. I'm going to tell you why. The people have all power. So all we have to do is if it just happened, which I don't think it will, that they didn't let Jovan present, which I think they are. If they didn't let him add or present his part, we would just give notice to the legislature by the thousands again and say, if you do not let him present, you are committing maladministration. Done. The legislature don't want to be looked at as committing maladministration. So they're going to have whatever they need to have. When it comes to these spunk logs and stuff, I think we're going to get them, but I don't think we need them. I think everybody involved, once we start making cases with the grand jury against the people, what's going to happen is they're going to tell on each other more. And as they tell on each other, they're going to give out the information to keep from going to prison for life. They're going to tell on their friends. One of them is going to tell. And when they tell, it's going to make the other people start telling. So we're going to have everything we need for this whole audit situation as long as we don't give in. See, if we slow down and stop because one part is done, what happens is we get in trouble because we let them off the hook. Y'all notice that the government officials are responding to us, and they did the whole audit because of us, even when the deep state went against them. So understand that we have the power to continuously audit the government. We have the power to continuously push them. So don't worry. Take action, massive action, and make them stand, and we're going to hold them accountable, and we will have the grand jury. Yeah, the people are going to be in the grand jury as always. So the grand jury and regular juries are set up of the people. Right now, the word is going out of how the government is breaking the law. If y'all just look at France, people in France are standing up against bad actors in government. Australia stood up against their health person and they quit. What you got to understand is America is way tougher than those places. So Americans are going to be like, screw you, and we're going to stand on the law. And when we have control of the grand jury and we stop the attorneys from blocking, what's going to happen is that everybody's going to get justice in different areas, and the government officials are going to stop trying to fight, because the government is going to realize they've been duped. So a lot of the legislative body members don't know the law. So they just write whatever the attorneys tell them to write. And then the attorneys make trickery so that they can extend their jurisdiction and have more cases to sue you as the people, but the government is supposed to be protecting the people. So the government doesn't teach the people that they're supposed to protect the people. They made the people enemies. And I'll make a video today, if the Lord will, showing you how the government has turned the people into enemies and have attacked. And I'll show you the Supreme Court said they're attacking the people. So once the people understand that, what ends up happening is that we have way more victory. We have justice that is unheard of. The way we got back the 90-something kids, 94, I believe it is by doing that type of process. The way that we got all the businesses open is by doing that type of process. The more that we open up, the more kids that we save, the more that we have more victories. And this is why some of you guys have put out your notices to your jobs for the vaccines, and you've won. This is why your legislatures in many places have said, no, you can't force a vaccine, and you've won, because we are killing it so much that they're hearing of the wildfire spreading and they don't want to be on the bad side of that fire. That's what happened. And they can look at Australia and see, holy crap, the people are pissed the freak off. They're not going around to these football games hearing FJB and thinking that they're going to be victorious. They know we're coming and we've learned too much. You can't keep doing the same things. And so I want you guys to understand what it looks like when you have victory. When the government, I don't care if they don't know, they know what they're doing to us is not right. That's right, Antoine. And that's the thing. See, they've been doing stuff to us in history and nobody told them they were doing wrong. Now we're given 1,000 notices showing you the law where you're doing wrong and asking for the grand jury at the same time. If you don't know where that's leading, I feel bad for you. We're giving you a chance to fix stuff, but we're showing you where we're going with or without you. And we're showing you where you are and the mistakes you're making. You better fix it, right? If you're smart, you don't have to, but I'm not worried if you don't, because I know what happens when the people know the truth and the people are serious and you're the enemy. Things change really fast, right? It's going to change really fast. But guys, as I was saying, today is a great day, guys. I want you guys to give to our guy, Josh Barnett. We are starting to change things, guys. We are going to have politicians in government with us having control again. We're going to tell them what to do, like Ronald Reagan said, not the government tell us what to do. And so, guys, let's prepare with someone who actually has shown us they're doing the work. Josh got the audit. Josh put the meetings together. Josh brought me, or I wouldn't be involved. Josh used me to teach them about the law. It would not have happened if it was not for him. The people who did the staffing, AZ We the People Alliance, or if that's what they call it, I mess up sometimes, please forgive me. They got to deal with Karen Fan and have these things put together because Josh connected them. Jovan and Colonel Waldron was even chosen in our notices and affidavits because Josh wanted them there based on the intel that he had. So a lot of things have happened behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. But please, guys, support Josh. If you can give $1, $5, I don't know what the lowest amount is. If you got some cans laying around or some steel laying around and you got gas money, take that steel or aluminum that you got in the backyard, go cash it in. You know, that old car sitting there that you're never going to use again, cut the freaking catalytic converter off. Take it. If you're not going to ever use the car, go scrap it. Take the money and donate to Josh, whatever you can. If you got cans around the house that you drink pop or alcohol, if they're redeemable in your state, just go take the cans, crush them, take them in a bag and donate to Josh Barnett. If it's $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100, $2,000, whatever it is, please give to the guys who are on our side. A lot of times we worry so much about what we do not have, but we need to focus on what we do have. We need to focus on the fact that we have the only forensic audit of its type in the history of the nation, if not the world. We have the ability to know that people have been doing wrong and committing maladministration because of the fight and being consistent and not crying over the steps of the fight for the audit, but being thankful for the battles that God has allowed us to be victorious in. We have not lost. We have not lost anything. People talking about spunk logs. We still have the ability to get them, especially if we get the grand jury. Branovich has already demanded that they give up these items that was asked for. So, and that they do not get rid of them. So guys, we're not in a situation where we're in a bad spot. To me, even if Branovich does nothing, I don't care, because we will have the grand juries back. The people will have knowledge of the grand jury. See, there's a lot of things that you guys want that you don't have because you've never asked for them. Or there's things that you could make your life better and you've never even known it existed. So therefore you did not want it. But when you go somewhere and you see like a barbecue grill, or you see like some type of vehicle that would make your life easier, or some tool that'll make your life easier, as soon as you see the demonstration of something that makes your life better, as soon as you see the power of you being able to do something by something that could add value to your life, your mind realizes it exists, and then your mind wants to go after it forever. Your mind does not stop. Your mind wants to pursue it. And so, guys, I understand it's the same thing when it comes to the grand jury, when it comes to freedom, when it comes to having your kids back, when it comes to having your cars back, when it comes to having justice, when it comes to not being taxed for things we're not supposed to be taxed for. All these things, guys, makes you want to pursue that greatness that you could have. So I understand my duty to you guys as an American is to show you what's yours, to show you how your forefathers left you a love letter on how to have freedom and justice and how to correct bad government. That's my duty. And that's Josh Barnett's duty. That's how we look at it. We got to tell y'all, we got to show y'all. So nobody is going to stop you guys. And I know that. That's why when you guys do affidavits and notices, will anyone see relief in the courts? Well, we got 94 kids back from the CPS courts. We have private entities that they tried to go after as businesses that moved to the private. They're all open and having fun and enjoying life. That's justice in the courts to me. And we will see justice in the future because they're going to stop using these legislative tribunals against the people to steal your stuff, because we're going to show they're doing it. That's one of the things Josh and I are doing today. But guys, please give to Josh. A lot of you guys ask how to give to me. That's right, Patrick, you're a beast. I see you consistent, always following, giving good comments, and gaining knowledge and wisdom. A lot of you guys are monsters, you know, and you don't quit. And, you know, when you look at people who don't really have remedy, they just talk. After a while, the people get tired and go back to normal life. When the people show you your power, your authority, and how you can stand and fight, you get happy and excited about being in the fight, and you don't want to stop. And I think that's the difference between what we're doing and what a lot of other people are doing. Not that we're better than anybody, but what we're doing allows for the people to see their power and be able to fight. And that's what is going to change the way that things work, you know? So anyway, I want to thank you guys. I am going to add a link to where we can give to Josh. If anybody has the link already, can you please put it here? And I'll put it in the description if the Lord should let me live. Anyway, I do want to thank you guys for being on. I want to thank Josh for continuing to fight. I know it's hard for him because he gives everything. I'm looking for real info versus soap opera. Yeah, I mean, you'll have to be the judge. SK Lex 65. You'll have to tell if I'm real or fake. You know, you can look up anything I say, and I ask you to bring any attorney, government official, judge, legislative body member any day of the week. I won't practice and let them go against me and test my knowledge and see what I am. You know, I don't think that there's very many who gonna do that. You know, a lot of the guys who are giving you soap opera or news, they're not going to go against those who are doing wrong and really go against them. I'll do it any day of the week. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming on. I am happy that we got a chance to talk and deal with stuff in life. And I like for you guys to be able to hear the psychology that I have, so it rubs off on you. When you understand that I'm not tripping out about little stupid stuff, we're going to get it. We're going to win. And where people are saying, well, what's your plan for this? Sorry, we've already had that done. You're late. Since the 26th, we've been sending out notices to this guy and other people, thousands of them where you were not involved. What are you talking about? You know, we're not sitting here crying, guys. We're taking mad. I'm not on locals. We're taking mad and massive action that is untouchable. There is nobody in the nation that can touch the actual massive action we're taking now and the people who are with us. Nobody. It don't exist. Face of America just posted Josh's link to give, guys. Let's see some good numbers today, guys. Let's show Josh some love and give him some good fire. People that already gave 500,000 to Clements who did nothing that had anything to do with the audit, guys. Please don't give the deep state more than you'll give somebody who's really fighting for you, you know? But anyway, this video is your, I'm gonna pray. Hold on. Dear Heavenly Father, we come thanking you for this day. We come thanking you for your love and mercy and truth. We thank you for allowing us to be strong fighters and allowing us to be able to continue and get the work done. Father, we ask that you bless us and keep us. We ask that you open the doors for more people to learn, give them knowledge and understanding and wisdom. Father, we ask that you bless Daniela, Father, that she be good in the situation with her parents, and that she has comfort and her family has comfort. Bless her aunt and uncle who got COVID too, and her mom. And we ask that you take care of them and heal them. Father, we ask that you take care of her and her husband, make sure they're traveling safely and they're okay. Father, we ask that you bless all the patriots fighting around the nation, Father, that you give them strength, power, wisdom, effectiveness, courage, fighting power, staying power, the will to win, Father, a hunger for knowledge and wisdom, a thirst for understanding. And Father, we just ask that you bless everyone under the sound of my voice, that you keep us all safe and out of danger, that you open up doors for us to be able to do powerful and mighty things, and that you continue to bless us and keep us and protect us. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all have this video. It is yours. You guys are the bomb. Y'all kicking butt. Y'all making moves. Y'all shattering the world with the powerful, unthinkable things that you have done. And I just want to give you praise and take part in the glory with you that God is showing us. So I will catch you guys later. Y'all stay out of trouble. Y'all be cool. Don't forget to give to Josh. Let us see a good day. Peace. They don't even want to let me end the broadcast, y'all.